And I don't want to spend my entire life helping people lose 15 pounds.
Most businesses don't fail because of lack of motivation.
And I wouldn't even go to the gym. If he was there, I'd quit going to the gym because there was so much tension. I don't like people telling me what to do.
Let's say we remove Facebook. What will happen to Bamboo Athletics without Facebook?
And then I realized that life is short.
Now you start to resent your own vehicle that you created. Most businesses don't fail because of lack of motivation. Everyone has motivation. The challenge is how can you sustain that motivation until business has structure in place to sustain you further. So today we have a guest who's also a great friend, Jesse DeMers. Jesse, say hi. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Can you tell us what you do?
Yes. So I do many things. One of them is I'm a gym owner. I have an amazing gym and an amazing community. I also have a transitional house for people who are getting out of prison or off the streets. And then I have a small little landscaping company to help with employment with the transition house. So I got a few things going on.
With all those three things going on, would you say business can sustain itself long term with just motivation and inspiration?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Can you go back in time and tell us how did you start the Bamboo, because that was your first venture? What inspired you, and take it from there.
Yeah, definitely. So long story short, Bamboo started as a seed when I was younger and I was incarcerated in prison. I went to prison as a teenager, angry, full of self-hatred, the typical young male that doesn't have a direction story. And in prison, I found fitness, and thank God fitness helped change my life. It didn't change my life, but it played a major role in helping me believe in myself. So I figured that the only thing I had to give to this world was fitness. And I love the thought of business, and I hate the thought of working for other people. So in my 13 years of incarceration, I decided I was going to start a boot camp when I got out. So that's the inception of Bamboo Athletics. Started in prison, and I just want to learn business, and I figured I was good at fitness.
So a few questions on that. Why the name Bamboo?
So Bamboo is a philosophy. Very good question. A lot of people ask that, actually. So long story short, the philosophy behind bamboo is all in the seed. When you plant a bamboo seed, now there's a strand in East Asia, it has to be the strand. When you plant it, it doesn't grow for 5 years. So for 5 years straight, you gotta water it, nurture it, nourish it, love it, do all the requirements without seeing any of the results. In 5 years to the month, it sprouts. And when it sprouts, it grows 12 to 18 inches a day.
Wow.
So over the course of 90 days, it's 100, 120 feet tall. It'll bend, but it won't break. Indestructible, it's strong. And the philosophy is, did it take 90 days to grow 100 feet tall, or did it take 5 years?
I would say 5 years, even though we've seen no results.
For sure, me too, because the roots were getting stronger. You still had to put the work in. And then when it sprouts, that's the overnight success type story, you know what I mean? But that's the philosophy and why I chose Bamboo as the cornerstone name.
Why fitness specifically? Like, it was not just fitness itself, right? It's not traditional gym.
It's not.
So can you tell us the differentiator of Bamboo Athletics comparing to all other fitness centers?
For sure. So one thing is, not only is it not a regular gym, but we won the best fitness facility in Volusia County 2 years in a row. So it's a special type of gym. But I never wanted to open a gym. I wanted to open a boot camp. Something in the park, something where I could just learn how money transacts as an adult in society doing the right thing. My intention wasn't to own a gym. But the boot camp industry is so hard, and if it's hot outside, nobody wants to work out. And if it's cold, nobody wants to work out. And if a bee stings them, they're not gonna come back to work out. So as I started my boot camp, I kept losing people. And then I realized I gotta get a facility. So I had this tiny room, maybe 800 square feet. And that was the first Bamboo, and we duct taped the floor together. So what makes it different is the fact that we focus more on culture and building a safe place for people who don't like going to gyms because they're intimidated. That's our differentiator. We focus on the outcast. That's the only people we cater to. And we chose the model that we have right now as far as like a membership model, family culture model, because that's what the market was lacking in our area.
I see how fitness is a lot like business. And I want to dive in deeper at what you have, but leveraging while leveraging R.I.S.E methodologies, the levers, the word Risepreneur, the first four letters, R.I.S.E, it's actually an acronym that we came up with. R stands for refine, I stands for invest, S stands for share, and E stands for exit. Business has to go through those stages. So we'll see where you're currently holding in all those four. What did you have to go through to have certain things in place to graduate certain levels? All right, so obviously everything starts with the purpose and everything. If you would put your business right now, like again, keeping the end in mind, if you would put your business right now at some stage, where would you say the stage is? Is it like initial stage? Is it at the growing stage, scaling stage, exit ready stage?
I would say it's in the growing stage.
Growing stage.
Growing/scaling stage.
Awesome. All right, so let's dive into our refine, right? When we say refine, we're looking at what you already have, right? So through this transition, by the way, how many years are you already in Bamboo Athletics?
7 years.
7 years. So when you were going through these 7 years, what did you have to refine when you just started, right? Like usually when business owner starts a business, they have product or service that they offer, there's certain margins involved. Then you're looking how to market that, how to delegate some of that work while maintaining healthy profit margin and so on. So what would you say were the first things that you had to refine, figure out, improve to get your business to a stable place?
The first thing was the product. For us, that's our sessions, the workouts. I had to refine those immediately because I thought my target market would be young males who want to do G.I. Joe type exercises and crawl in the dirt and climb trees and do backflips, and that's what I was used to in prison. But that's not what anybody wanted in society. So immediately I had to refine the workouts to be more accommodating to people who haven't worked out in 10 years, 20 years, sometimes even longer than that.
What was your measuring stick to refine the product?
So the measuring stick was, it's a great question. The measuring stick is a 40 to 50-year-old female who had kids when she was 20 or 30, raised her kids, put herself last place, took care of them, and then they go to college. And now she's 40 or 50 pounds overweight, doesn't know what to do, and wants to get back in shape. That's our measuring stick. If we could provide a great workout for her, while also providing a great workout for someone like me, then we're doing good. And that's what we use as our measuring stick.
So you would look at them losing weight, feeling good, strong. You would look at their how long they would work out, how they express themselves. Like, can you be more specific?
Understood. So it's a little bit of everything. So obviously we want to help them hit their goals. So a lot of it is weight loss for our type of program. The other side of it is also building muscle and losing body fat. So that's one measuring stick, is weight loss. The main measuring stick for the business is going to be retention. Because if we have strong retention rates, meaning that the people who cancel is under 6%, then we know we have a good business. If it starts jumping up 8%, 10%, something's going on. And we got to dive deeper and figure out where's the break in the chain.
So you had to test all this while doing your boot camps.
Yeah.
Right. So how long did it take you to get to a place where you felt this is it, this is the product?
5 years.
Took you 5 years. Wow. Amazing. What was some of the hardest things while you were trying to optimize to find that perfect point where people are happy and at the same time business gets what the business is supposed to get?
Finding out what is the heart of Bamboo was the main thing. So we beat out, I don't want to say we beat out, but we've won the best gym for 2 years in a row over Crunch, over Amped, over Golds in our community. And I had to find out, why did we do this? And we did it because we focus on the outcast. And it took me 4 or 5 years to realize our main person is gonna be, like I said, the Sally or the Mr. Jeff who hasn't worked out in forever, but yet they want to get in shape and they're too intimidated to go to a regular gym. So it took a while to figure out that.
5 years, that's bamboo.
It's
Took
bamboo.
5 years to get to a place where
Yeah.
you get the 2 years in a row, the recognition.
For sure, but we're still refining it. We're still dialing it in and trying to get better at it every day.
So what are some things that were total loss?
One would be meal prepping. We had an idea at one time that we were gonna help people by having meal prep, like doing it ourselves, putting that together, which was a terrible mistake. So that's something I would never get into, and I'm glad I didn't invest too much into that. Also, just investing in the wrong people. Those are lessons that I had to learn in time as well, learning how to pick people better. The main thing I would say would be just bad marketing campaigns and spending all this time and energy into building a program. Here's a recent one, very recent one. We did a bamboo triathlon, and it was an amazing program. So we're gonna do 100 miles in 30 days. It's 3 miles a day. We can do that. It's not too bad. But really, by me marketing it as a triathlon, it came with nutrition programs, it came with a weight loss plan, it came with special workouts, an accountability group. It was only $49. And I thought I would sell probably 100 of them, and we sold 3. And I had to look back at, why did we only sell 3? When we did it last year and we marketed it as Summer Slimdown, we sold 1 million of them. And the reason is because I called it the Bamboo Triathlon. And nobody wants to do a triathlon. Even though it's only 3 miles a day, you could walk it, you could do whatever. It was just a wrong name.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a big lesson. Like marketing, it can't just be the program, it has to be the name behind it. It has to be the people who are promoting it. It has to be the faces on the cover, ...
So got a split test the names.
Yeah,
Split the.
I wish I would have. Yep.
So one of those things also in refinement that we do, cannot let go some of the things that you said. But I'll go back to that actually. When you said 100 miles, 30 days, initially it shocked me. What? That's a big number. But when you broke it down, 3 miles, that's very doable. I've done 5 miles a day. It's not, so just had a thought that something big, break it down.
Piece by
Once
piece.
you break it down, all of a sudden you see how it becomes very achievable. Yeah, good one. Thank you.
3.33 miles. Just for
Infinite 3-3.
yeah, but you know how some people are like, hey, hold up, that doesn't equal 100.
Anything you want to share about how in the refinement process, how you attempted and did, most likely 7 years, where you removed yourself from certain activities and made it less owner dependent?
Yeah, I would say a few things come to mind. The main thing is, recently, in order for me to step back, I had to learn not to put too much into the refinement process when it comes to SOPs into my people. And that might be contrary, because as business owners, we believe heavily in SOPs. It's a major part of it. But there's times when we've had SOPs a stack this thick on what to do. And I had to look at, is this really worth the contention is putting on the team by me saying, hey, you have to do X, Y, Z this way? Is it producing fruits? Or am I just stuck in old belief of, here's how it is, you do what I say? So by me learning how to go back over SOPs, take out all the extra stuff that's not driving any more money into the business anyways. It's not making retention any better. It's just extra stuff that was good for that moment, but no longer serves a purpose. And when I started doing that, which we do every month, if not every month, every few months, we always go back and ask ourselves as a team, does it still make sense to do this, or could we do this better and faster? When I started doing that and bringing the team into it, it allowed me to kind of like step back a little bit, because now they have more they have more buy-in on the decisions that are being made, so they take ownership over it more. So by learning not to just be a binder of SOPs, but to be actually a team that can think together and knows the mission and the vision, it allows me to have my transition house and to start this over here and kind of step back a little bit.
It would be a concern when a parent has to put the same clothing on a child at 6 months and at 3 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing changed, right? So that would be concern. So why not in a business? Business is pretty much the same. It's growing as time progresses.
Do you mind if I add to that?
Go for it.
Having too many SOPs that no longer serve a purpose and being too strict on them not only could it not serve any purpose anymore, but it could actually create friction in the team. And now the same people who once believed in you now will start becoming your enemies because you're asking too much and it doesn't make sense to them. And then if you don't know how to have the right attitude or right communication skills, maybe you say, hey, you're supposed to do it, and you say it in the wrong way. And now there's a bunch of tension in the air over SOPs that are no longer serving you.
Yep, it demoralizes for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
Where would you say you are right now if we put you through a test that we make, 3 months off on vacation? What would happen to the business? Will it run as it is? Will it stop functioning, or it will actually continue?
It'll definitely continue. No question about it. The growth part, it might even grow more without me being there. I have no clue. So I don't want to say it's going to grow more or it's just going to stay the exact same. It'll 100% continue. But I've never stood back for 90 days.
What was the maximum that you stood back?
A week. As far as like completely stepped back, no phone, nothing, a
off
week.
The grid.
Yeah.
So when you came back, any surprises?
No, at the beginning, yes. I went to a wedding. I don't want to tell stories or whatnot. But yeah, I remember going to a wedding for 3 days and I had the wrong team. And I told my team I'm gone for 3 days to a wedding in Ohio. And I wasn't even gone 24 hours. And I get a text message from a member saying XYZ. The message was a mile long about everything going wrong. And I was gone for not even 20 hours at the time. Fast forward now, I just went to New York, went to Broadway, saw Hamilton. Beautiful, spent a week away, came back. It was like I never left.
You see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
You removed yourself and made the business, actually definition of a business in my mind, it's a profitable commercial enterprise that can function without you. And not just function, grows without you. So I want to shift to invest, the second letter in the acronym. So when we talk about invest, it could be systems, it could be people, it could be marketing, advertising, and a lot of business owners confuse the word invest with spend. A lot of them look at the P&L because they listen to their accountants and they see that, there's an expense over here, there's an expense, payroll or advertising and so on. Our mission as business owners to make sure that it's not just spending. We want to see the return on that investment, right? So I'm not spending on people, I'm investing into people, because hopefully if we collaborate together, they bring the return on that investment. So can we dive in on that end and see where you prioritize your investments, where we had wrong investments? Like one of the things, again, we talked about earlier, how each section in the each lever kind of collaborates with other levers. So it could be an investment in the wrong name, in the wrong marketing campaign, and the wrong addition to the product could make it not an investment and was a spend. So can we dive in there? What can you share about your initial investments? Where did they had to be, and where you found the biggest wins and biggest losses?
Speaking on from a marketing perspective on investment, I think that's the easiest way to start it off. We invest in marketing through Facebook ads. At the current time, for the last couple of years, that's been the best thing for us. We've done Google paid ads, we've done TikTok, we've done all the ads. Facebook marketing is where it's at. But how do you know that it's actually being effective and you're getting a return on ad spend? So what we do is every single day I update the numbers, our KPIs. So we invest. Do you want me to say the number? How much a day? Or
It's your choice how deep you want to go, but I am curious to see how do you know if it's an investment and not an expense.
okay, all right. So we invest anywhere from $200 to $300 a day, every single day on Facebook ads. Each day we count our leads. So I have a track. It's an end of the day form. Every day I fill it out. We need to know how many paid leads we got, and then I have another form for how many referral leads we got and organic leads. Let's just stick with the paid leads. Out of the paid leads, how many of them actually scheduled? So we track our schedule rate. Out of the schedules, how many actually showed? We track our showed rate. Out of those who showed, how many converted into a sales? Did they convert to a front end sale as a challenge, which is high ticket, or did they convert straight into a membership, which is a little bit more low ticket? And then we track all that. From there, we got to track our conversion rates long term, as in did they stay after the 8 weeks? Did they stay past 12 weeks? If we could get them past 12 weeks, they'll stay for 2, 3, 4 years. It's the first 12 weeks, which is our bottleneck. Investing in the people is another thing that is harder for us to track, but every single year, everybody on the team has to do it's gonna be 1 certification and 1 conference. So last year we all did Precision Nutrition. I don't know if I'm allowed to say their name, but it's the best in my opinion. It's my second time doing it. Nutrition certification you could get. So for 20 weeks, every Tuesday, everybody on the team met up on Zoom and we all studied together and we got certified together through Precision Nutrition. And then we got to do a conference together every year. So every year we got to do 1 course or certification and then 1 conference together. And that's an investment. I don't know how to track the return on that. That'd be more through probably retention, but also like it just builds a stronger team. We're all on the same page. We're able to speak the same language. So I know right now our cost per lead is give or take $20 to $24, right? Any day it could change, but it's around there, which leads into our cost per acquisition. And once we know how much we have to spend to acquire a customer, I don't want to say that number right now, but then we could amp up the ad spend.
Yeah.
So at first I never thought I would spend $275 a day, $300 a day, $200 a day on ads. It's crazy. I remember hearing $20 a day and I'm thinking like, who would spend $20 a day on ads? That's insane. But once you actually track it and you understand the numbers, it starts to make a difference and it makes sense. And I'm not a numbers person. So this isn't my forte, but as a business owner, if you don't mind, as a business owner from my perspective, you have to do, more than likely you're gonna have to do what you're weakest at doing is what you need to focus on. And for me, it's numbers. So now I'm super detailed on knowing what the numbers are so I can make educated decisions.
Same in my businesses. Cannot make decisions without numbers. Nothing is subjective. I need to see the numbers. That's how we make a decision. Right now, I heard Facebook, and that's an investment. Now, the question is, let's say we remove Facebook. What's then? You mentioned referrals, but you can build a business on referrals. So what will happen to Bamboo Athletics without Facebook?
Okay. You mind if I answer that?
I want you to answer that.
Okay, so that's all I've been thinking about. And we've talked many a times, and that's been the main thing. So here's what we're going to do now. We have a 4 to 5 mile radius on our Facebook ads. And really it's going into an area where the average income, believe it or not, is around $20,000, which is kind of very low, especially for what we're trying to ask for our program, for our worth and our value. So what we want to do now is instead of spending $6,000, $7,000 a month on ads, what if we did the postcards and we targeted certain zip codes and neighborhoods that have an average income of $60,000, $80,000, so forth and so on. And we put QR codes specific to that neighborhood, QR code specific to this neighborhood, and we directly, target them. I feel like, well, one, we're doing that already, but I think that could be a great answer. And if it's a good answer, we can make it an addition to what we already have going on Facebook ads. So if one falls off, we can have this as well.
Okay, that was marketing. What were the investments in other aspects of the business?
Last year, I had this idea. So we do semi-private training as well. Our main bread and butter for the first 5 years was group sessions and a little bit of personal training, but mainly group. And then around year 5, I started to get more into semi-privates. Semi-private training is when it's one coach and then 3 or 4 people to a session. It's more personalized. It's a higher ticket, product because it is more personalized. And that's what I want to go into. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get a lease beside us. I'm going to get the next unit, knock the wall down, get all new equipment, a whole personal training facility set up. And that's what I did. And it took everything from me because I built everything with my hands. Everything. So we tore the wall down, ripped the floor up. And of course I had guys lay the gym floor down, stuff like that. But everything else I did with my hands. And it cost around $90,000. And I just thought, you know what? This is going to be $1 million addition right here. It's going to bring in $20 million a year. I thought it would be humongous. But like everything in life, it's a bamboo seed and it takes time. So that is not a loss on that investment, but we're just starting to see the fruits of it, just starting to see it. And it's already been 13 months. So that's something that I didn't intend to take this long. I'm glad we did it, but there was a lot of lessons in between. And then I was so stressed out that it trickled down between the team.
When you say trickle down into the team, what do you mean by that?
So I was working to midnight, 1 o'clock every night. And because of that, I didn't have a lot of extra energy or extra time. And there was people on the team at that time who I was hoping would help out. And I've done so much for them. And I feel like sometimes as a business owner, as a leader, I personally have a mindset of like, I've done all this for you, you should do something for me too. And that's not the right mindset to have. But I was so stressed out in that 5 or 6 month period to the fact to where I allowed the way I interact as a leader to not be the best way at that time. And really, it just brought things that should have already been surfaced. It brought it up to the surface.
I do want to also compliment you on what you invest into the team. That's for sure an investment. Doing things together, the culture. I'm pretty sure you have a great culture.
Yeah, that's our main thing.
Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Yeah, our main thing is culture. So we want a culture that's catered to those who feel like they're outcasts. From me to the admin assistant, to every coach, every trainer, the sales manager, retention manager, we have to make everyone feel comfortable. So when I onboard new coaches, the first thing I'm looking for is, do they interact? Do they have a kind heart? Are they warm? Are they also knowledgeable, but even more so, are they charismatic? Do they love people? That's number one. So I always train for that. We have a 3-day onboarding process. It's gonna be 3 weeks. Week 1 is all the soft skills. It's not the how to train, how to do this. It's the soft skills, because if they don't have those, I learned that it's just not gonna be a good fit. And I don't wanna waste time training you on how to train if you don't even know how to say hi to somebody when they walk in. All of our coaches, everybody on the team has 5 seconds to introduce everybody who walks in. We have 5 seconds to introduce ourselves to anyone who walks in, whether they're a current member or they're just somebody walking by and interested in finding out more about the program. When they walk in, you have 5 seconds to introduce yourself. Hey, how's it going? If they're brand new, you gotta shake their hand, welcome them in, and welcome them to 3 people. If they've been with us for 7 years, because we have a few members who've been who've been with us for 7 years. When they walk in, you still gotta say, hey, what's up, Mr. Dave? Hey, what's up, Miss Jen? All the coaches do that. It's a part of our culture. And then we continuously introduce them to other people. We had a session this morning at 9:15. I was there just to, hang out. And I literally was helping the coaches place people. And we had 2 members who've been here with us for 2 years each. And when I put them together to partner up, I still say, hey, Miss Agnes, this is Miss Christine, this is Miss Agnes. And they're like, we know each other. I do that intentionally. So people get it's kind of like a running joke where they're like, we already know each other. We've been together for 5 years now. But it's just a culture. And they do it with the other members. So when brand new people come in, the other members start introducing themselves and introducing them to others. And so that's like from the membership's perspective, when they first come in and just on a regular basis. We have a monthly calendar. It's gonna be a yearly calendar where every month we have everything mapped out for the entire month. Every quarter we do a challenge for the members. Every quarter we have a team party. It's gonna be a gym party for the members. And then every quarter we have what we call like a theme week, a sweaty selfie week, a team participation week, etc., etc. Also on the calendar, we have team building events just for me and the coaches. where we go out every 3 months. We got to clean the entire gym every 3 months. And this is not on payroll. We all meet up at the gym because this gym supports all of us. So we got to keep it clean. And we all meet up, clean the entire gym, and then we all go out to eat. I pay for everybody. You bring your family, friends, loved ones. Every 3 months we do that. Every 3 months we have a team building event. It might be, what do they call it? Like a room where an escape. It might be an escape room. It might be ice skating. Every 3 months we have a team building event. And then we're always trying to throw in extra stuff for holidays. At the end of every year, we meet up together. We do our goal setting parties, me and the team. So they'll come to my house. And of course, we have food for everybody. It's just me and the team, the team, my lady. And we go over all of our goals. It's a goal/mission vision party for the upcoming year. So there's things that we do. And then we have a leadership team. So it's me, my sales manager, technically it's the admin assistant, but she does everything. Her name is Miss Kathy. I love her. And then my retention manager. Every 6 months we meet up. I order a room. I reserve a room at the Foundry for 10 hours. So I pay them $100 for the whole day. A room like this, or maybe like that. And for at least 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours, we're locked in the room and we're going over all the SOPs, what doesn't serve us anymore, what we need to adjust, what we need to do to be better. And of course, we order food and we can't leave the room. We're there for like 12, really it's like 12 plus hours. We do it every 6 months.
I wonder if we should bring up that story as well, how investing in a wrong teammate and not facing the reality for some time can escalate and actually could potentially kill that motivation that we constantly get to stimulate with our day-to-day activities.
Yeah, I had a teammate who was just amazing. This guy's amazing. I like hiring people who are either out of prison or they're out of rehab and they're turning a new chapter of life. And this guy was amazing guy for the first year. And then it turned south, and it turned south for various different reasons. But I was too afraid to let him go. And I should have let him go a year before I finally did let him go. And it was out of fear. It was out of fear because everybody loved him because he was so charismatic. And at one point I loved him as well. Charisma, tatted up everywhere. We got doctors, lawyers, CPAs, plenty of professors. We have professional people at the gym. Everybody knows I've been to prison. They know what I'm about. This guy was charismatic. Everyone loved him. Been in prison. Like I said, tats everywhere. And just like a great trainer and charismatic. But his morals and his integrity, from one man's perspective, being myself, didn't line up. We had different foundation. And I was afraid to let him go because everybody loved him. And because of that, and I knew that if I was gone, the gym would still run. So there were selfish reasons as well. I knew, and I wouldn't even go to the gym. If he was there, I'd quit going to the gym because there was so much tension. And then it trickled down to the team. So now I have my retention manager playing the mommy between both of us. And he would say something slick to her about the way I want to run the business. And then she would be like, oh, she would have to put that fire out because we want to communicate with one another. And everything was surface level. I smile, you smile. But obviously there was stuff down below. So keeping him too long was an investment that I had to make at the time to learn to never do it again. And you call it having a pool of experience, I call it having an algorithm. That's what I call it, which means if I see one red flag plus 2 red flags, that equals you're out of here. If I see A plus B, it equals this. So I call it the algorithm. And I put my own morals and my own judgment and my own character to the side so I can live a more peaceful life and just be like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. When really that's the coward's way out. When really I should have just had a tough conversation and said, hey, we got to shake hands and part ways. But by allowing it to fester for too long, when we did part ways, now I got people leaving. It is what it is. And then I got everything else that comes with it. But at least I'm at peace. And now I'm back in the gym. I neglected the gym for 6 months straight. I neglected it. And because of that, it wasn't growing.
Wow.
I wasn't watering the seed.
That's a powerful story. Let's shift to share. Share basically is something that we leverage as a lever to see what can help us not only grow the business but scale the business. Right. I'm sure you tried things in the past and maybe thinking that some of those could help you in the future. Let me share like one example. Is there something that you could share with your teammate, with something that could be related to your business, or something that could be basically be your sponsor, brand ambassador, or could joint venture, or something else that could help you open additional locations? I'm sure you probably looked at that aspect, opening multiple locations, and can you dive into that and what that experience looked like?
Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to share in the vision. So originally the dream was to open up 5, 6, 10 locations, but to partner with the coaches. So a coach would come in, they'd be ambitious, and they would learn the system, they would learn the process, and we would just duplicate it, and we could open up another gym and they just run the same play. What I'm finding is that it's easier, it sounds good on the surface, but it's hard for someone to come in and actually follow through on that. Because most coaches I get, especially at the beginning, I used to paint the big picture of what I just said, and they would all be like, I want that, I'd love to open up my own gym, but they don't want to put the work in. And so you can't have the gym without the work. And so therefore it just becomes like an employee type thing. And then it fizzles off. And that's when I had to learn teamship. That's when I had to dive more into leadership and learn how to build a team to see a vision that's bigger than just what we have right now. So I let the coaches know if we want to go online, I would love to go online and have a whole online Bamboo Athletics. And if you want to take that mantle, I'll help you out. But you got to do X, Y, Z first. And then I'll put the money behind it, and we'll put the ads, put gasoline on the fire, and blow it up. I just haven't had anybody jump on that yet. To that, as far as like branching out and doing something different. That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. So in this example, you shared how you could scale your business and resources that you attempted to leverage not aligned really with the vision. They're aligned with the vision by being you as a number one and pushing everything through, but they don't want to take ownership of and become number one in that space or location.
Yeah, I don't even like saying that be like number one or like I'm number one in this. I don't even like saying that. Let me give you a great example. With the coach who I was telling you about, when he first joined the team, I told him, once you learn everything, we could just open up another gym. We could open up one in DeLand, Miami, wherever, and I'll put the money behind it. I already have the sales part down. I have the process for retention down. We already have a whole team over here. We have all of our workouts already lined up. We have everything. And then I'll put the money behind it so we can get a lease and run some ads and get some people in there ASAP. But on the flip side, you got to be able to run everything over here first. We can't just do that for no reason. And nobody wants to put the work in to help me build the other side with my bare hands. Nobody wants to roll down their sleeves and help out at 12 at night to build the other side. Nobody wants to go out there and pass out flyers. Nobody wants to do a free workout for the community to get their name out there. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
How can you go on your own, start from zero, go through all that pain, and continue to have motivation to keep going?
That's
right?
Crazy.
It's not a walk in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when you just started, you literally were on the street in the park doing the workouts, right? So I don't have what it takes. I can take something that exists, take you to the next level. So that's more of a conductor, right? So even for me, it was really hard to take position number one. At so many years as a support to the entrepreneurs, I wasn't in such a position. So I see how for you to get somebody to actually get aligned with you on this, you basically need to look for somebody who's already number one. That's another entrepreneurial mind.
Yeah.
Somebody who already sees and crazy enough to go and face all the pain.
Now, I do have 3 other people. I'm going to say that I have Angelique Armstrong, Brianna Palmer, and Kathy Kowalski. These are like my 3 intrapreneurs. I'm telling you, they do everything. They've done everything except for started off. I just got it started.
Yeah.
And now that it's rolling, those 3, I'm telling you, and then I got 2 other amazing coaches. So it's not just a me putting everything together. And that's Coach Todd and Coach Rich.
Yeah, for sure.
And Coach Neek. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but let's say if you would have an opportunity right now, since you already have your model, your product offering optimized, you already have multiple marketing channels on how to generate business. You already know how to identify talent. You actually develop some of the talents that can run the business on their own. What's stopping you right now by not introducing somebody necessarily who was nurtured by you, but somebody who is, let's say, an outside entity that is trying to figure out, maybe somebody who has similar business, but they are in the beginning stages, or they cannot fine-tune it like you did. Have them rebrand, adapt, and grow, or find investors to keep opening locations, and just like you proposed. Like, what's stopping you to approach that?
2 things. 1, I wouldn't feel confident doing that at the moment.
Because
I feel like I need to develop into a better leader before I do that. And I just want to build a better... well, that's one, and that's part of me and my own insecurities. All right, so I'm always going to feel like I need to do more. But the main reason is because I don't want to do it. And I don't want to invest my time in that. And I don't want to spend my entire life helping people lose 15 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I feel like that's a major part of my purpose here. But I have a bigger purpose as far as helping guys who are getting out of prison, who are getting off the streets. I have a bigger purpose as far as spreading the word on how many people. We have 14,000 people in Florida prison right now doing a life sentence who are sentenced as a juvenile. They're 50 years old right now. They got sentenced with a life sentence at 17 years old, and they're 50 years old, and they've been down for however long that is. And guess what? They're in good shape. They got another 30 years, 40 years before they pass away. So like, I feel like my purpose is a little bit deeper than just, and I don't want to say like just the gym, but I feel like that's a part of my journey. I love Bamboo. All I need is somebody else to come in with that crazy energy and say, hey bro, let's take over the world with these gyms, and we'll all work together. Me, Coach Bree, Coach Miss Kathy, Coach Ange, Coach Neek, Coach Todd, Coach Rich, we'll all work together and build 20 other gyms.
So you open to that idea?
I'm open to that.
Okay.
But I'm not putting time, effort, or
yourself.
energy into it.
You don't want to do it yourself.
I don't want my energy to be up here when other energy is down here from anybody else who wants to do that. Their energy needs to be way up here.
Yes.
And it'll work. It'll work. But I want my energy for the transitional housing to be way up here. And as a proxy of that, we have a little landscaping company. We might have like a little logistics company, a little window cleaning company to help support the guys when they get out so they can get employment and whatnot.
And that's all through that second chance, the second venture that you're producing. Again, I'm fascinated by you starting something from scratch, from nothing, just a concept. Put all that work, and I'm pretty sure you're going to do it much faster this time because you already know the drill.
I mean, God willing, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I don't like people telling me what to do. And I don't operate well. If somebody isn't going to match me energy for energy, then there's no sense for us to be equals in this venture. And I know my energy is going to be on top 20 out of 10. So therefore, I do everything on my own because I'm hard-headed and I don't want to be patient. I don't want to wait, and I don't recommend that to anybody. But Bamboo is my first child. Bamboo is my heart and soul. I love Bamboo. I don't want to water it down by having somebody else take my place in Bamboo. life is too short for me. I could care less about exiting. I know we're going to talk about exiting. I've learned in the last year and a half to be careful of the information that I take in, because traditional knowledge says build a business to scale it so you can exit. And you should always build a business with the intention of exiting it so it can operate on its own. But there's a lot of things that you should do. You should only eat chicken breasts and broccoli and asparagus, but every now and then you want pizza and you want nachos and you want to share it with your loved ones and have a good time. So with Bamboo, I'm going to build it, scale it, but it's always going to be a product of Jesse. And it's going to have stuff that no other gym owner would want to do. The amount of money we spend is crazy. I'm not talking about ads. The amount of money we spend in the gym, any investor would be like, bro, you're not spending that money. It doesn't make sense. You're not going to get a return on it. We have an event this weekend. It's a perimenopause event. So we paid to bring the speakers in. We're paying for our charcuterie boards, and we're going to have, it's dope. It's going to be a cool little event. If an investor was to look at that, they'd be like, well, what's your ROI on that? And I'd say it's zero. Or I'd say I can't quantify it with numbers. It's intrinsic.
Yeah.
And they might be like, well,
it's priceless.
They might be like, Jay, don't do that again. And I'll be like, I would say words that I can't say right now.
Yes.
So that's why I like doing stuff on my own. Second Chance Collective. This is so far left field. This is crazy what I'm doing over here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just one foot in front of the other. And it's going to be very successful because it's going to help great and amazing people out. And that's the main thing. But it's got to make a profit.
Yes. To stay
afloat.
Float and long enough to make an impact.
That one I want to scale and grow because of the impact that is creating, and also because there's not too many people who are focused on that.
So then let's transition to that. Speaking of exit, right? I think last time I mentioned this to you, one of my guests at the podcast, entrepreneur philosopher, he heard the question from me about why 93% of businesses never reach $1 million in revenue, what he attributes that failure to. And he explained it to me and showed his perspective, which I totally agree on, and then reflected with all the businesses that I was involved in. Entrepreneurs reach certain level and they either get comfortable, their lifestyle is supported, team is supported, they have a business, they don't want to go crazy and keep investing and lose sleep over something that not as meaningful for them, right? So it's not really a failure. So in your case, when you started a business, those initial days, what did you think? What would the exit look like for Bamboo before you created all this meaningful things that it's producing right now for you?
Yeah. Originally, I wanted to be 10 million, 20 million. And then I had to realize that the amount of effort and energy it's going to require me to make and to grow and to evolve is going to be everything. And I was already putting everything in. And then I realized that life is short. And I don't want to put all my effort and energy into making this a $20 million exit. Because in the time that's going to take, there's so many things that I could be doing to help out and get more fulfillment from. So when you told me that, as far as like good being the enemy of great, and that they don't hit $1 million because they reach a good state and they're like, hey, I could kind of live a good life and this is good enough. For me right now with Bamboo, it's more about I want this to make millions so my team can make more money. I'm very simple. No jewelry. I went to prison as a kid and I got out and I didn't have kids because I knew that I wouldn't be able to build a business while having kids. Not saying I wouldn't be able to, but I just knew how much of a burden that would be coming out of prison after 13 years. So I haven't had kids. So for me with Bamboo, I wanted to make millions so my team, so I could pay them handsomely.
Love it.
So I could pay them so much, any investor would be like, no way, you're paying them too much. You can't pay them that much. But I don't have any investors, just, you know what I mean? So I could be like, man, we paying them, they get everything. And then with this stuff over here, this will make a little bit of money, but I could also make sure that those who need it are able to have their foundation set up and go.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're avoiding that. It just reminds me of a joke. Not gonna go into the whole joke, but the decision had to be made, and the founder answers the call, and they saying, "So are you gonna make that decision?" He's like, "Let me speak to my board." Yes. Decision was made.
Yeah, for sure.
Right there. So I decided. That's it. I don't need somebody to dictate. Like you said, live a life on my terms.
Yeah, that's what I like.
You can't have people tell you what to do. Yeah, okay. It suits you. It fulfills your purpose and so on. Most of the businesses never sell. 4 out of 5 never sell because of the due diligence that happened. And 50% of those due diligence issues due to financial due diligence. Then we have due diligence on the risk level. Then we have stuff that we do due diligence on the legal side. Make sure that nothing pending going on, and not like business is clear, right? Another thing I will throw in here, based on what I found out, is over 70% of owners regret selling on the first year. And also 80-90% of owners have their wealth tied into the business. And those businesses that sold, they were undervalued 15 to 25%. And with all that, basically the expectations of the owners that sell not really met, because they thought they're gonna retire, they're gonna do this. Next thing you know, they're not getting enough, and now they also do not know what to do with their time, and also the terms that they negotiate. Like you said, I cannot tell people, tell me what to do. I think the biggest pain, this transition time, when you transition a year or two, and you have somebody now tell you what to do because you have a boss over you. So any of those things were part of your radar? And if yes, what those were? What did you do to make sure that you're not going to be falling into that trap?
Yeah. So at the moment, that's what I meditated on a lot. And I say at the moment, but within the last year, if I was to sell bamboo, really within like the last 2 years, I've been thinking on it. What would I do then? What would be my next play? I'm just gonna start another business, which I did in between then, but it's just gonna be from one game to another game. And I love bamboo, so I would never sell it. And I did think about that. But what I will do one day, and I pray that this day comes, is that I could give it away to my team, to Coach Ange, Coach Bree, Miss Kathy, to the core team. I pray one day the day comes to where it's completely self-sufficient. Meaning it's just, I don't even need to go there unless I just want to. And it's operating, and it's such a great asset, and it's doing 30% net profits. So in our business, in the gym industry, here goes the numbers. You want to spend, and the numbers might vary, but it's 40% on payroll or expenses, right? So let's say 40% on expenses only. Your lease, your lights, your software, legal fees as far as like your annual filings and whatnot, taxes, 40%, 30% on payroll. And those numbers might switch. So it's 40% on expenses, 30% on payroll is the sweet spot. 30% as an owner's distribution, 30% net profit. So as an owner, if I step all the way back, our business does $1 million, I'm stepping back, I should make $300,000 a year by being in the business for 5 hours a month. I come by to bring coffee at a meeting and just hang out with the team. The other $700,000 is just the whole operations. That's a successful gym. So the dream is to be at that point and have Second Chance Collective and everything else going on, and just say, hey, core team, it's all y'all now.
Yeah,
that would
Second
be
Chance
a dream.
is already at that level where you can let go of Bamboo Athletic.
Like completely let it go, but it's my core team.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still.
Yes.
It's
Yes. Let's play a little game, if you don't mind. I want to ask you a few questions. 5. And I want you to answer without overthinking. The hardest system to build in your perspective.
Onboarding systems for new employees, team management systems, anything with leadership and soft skills. Because now you have to figure out how to influence somebody in a positive way to maybe change your behavior to suit the business more, ultimately to suit the customer in a way that's favorable to them.
So because of the soft skills and specifically with people, that's what you find the hardest?
The hardest to me.
Yeah, interesting. Most overrated growth tactic?
Trends.
Trends?
Trends on TikTok, trends on Instagram. For most situations, it's just a waste of time, from my opinion. It's a waste of time and energy that could be spent in making the business better. For most situations.
Yeah, got it. Best hire mistake you ever made?
Yeah, keeping people too long. Not speaking about that situation, but I used to have an onboarding process that would last 6 months and it wouldn't work out. And then I realized the ones who do amazing, they get it in 2 or 3 weeks. And the ones who I got to hold their hand for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, it's not going to work out anyways.
Is a person giver or taker? Is the person fast or slow?
Yeah.
Right, so you want to be a giver and fast. So in your example, you're saying that if they have it, you're going to see it right away.
Yeah.
You don't need to wait 6 months.
But that doesn't mean they're not a taker.
Yeah.
So you still got to be careful and check their characteristics and their integrity and whatnot, because they can still be a taker. They're just smarter than the average person and they're manipulative. That could still happen. So you got to learn how to swim in between.
Go through
there.
it. So next one is one thing you'd stop doing tomorrow. What would that be?
One thing I would stop doing tomorrow would be taking blanket advice and not running it through my own filter, because this is what normal people do.
One thing you would double down.
I would double down on doing better work, meaning everything I do, am I doing it to the best of my ability? Even if it's as simple as being organized. Am I being organized and on point? Because guess what? When I'm organized, I'm able to be 10 times more efficient. And I got too many things going on. As you can tell right now, my main thing is organization. So if I could double down on anything, it wouldn't just be organization. It'd be, am I doing the best at everything that's going on with this podcast, with everything?
All right, and in closing, I would love to hear your thought about the RISE levers. Like if you look at your business, like, and advise anyone who's in your shoes right now at that level of the business, you give yourself 90 days. Which of those 4 levers you would give the most focus?
I would give the most focus, and this is me giving advice to someone or to myself?
To yourself.
Oh,
and indirectly, others can put the hat on and tap into that idea.
I would balance between investment, more heavy on the investment side, investing in team, investing in leadership, investing in building skills, and then also refinement and getting better and doubling down and getting better at everything that you're investing in. I think those two, because with those, then you'll get to the scale. It's going to scale, God willing, by proxy.
So you're going for the hardest thing. You said people, soft skills. That's the hardest area, and that's what you would focus on and continue focusing, because that's where you see the biggest value.
Yeah. Well, and it's also my biggest weakness. So if you strengthen your weakest link in the chain, it's going to strengthen the whole thing. So.
Thank you, Jesse, for all your insights. Amazing. I learned a lot myself, and more we talk, more I find out about you. It's not only motivational, but also gives an idea of what to try or avoid in my ventures. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, brother. Appreciate you.